Now I am going to take down the problem on the band break, that is simple band break. Okay, I will read out the statement. After noting down the given data, okay, you can find out what they have asked. Okay. Simple band break of drum diameter. They are given the diameter of the drum. Can note down the diameter of the drum. Okay. The diameter is given. I will write it here. Okay. D is equal to, the diameter is 600 mm. 600 mm, and has a band passing over it with an angle of contact of 225. Means they have given the angle of contact, that is theta, it is 225 degree. Okay, this degree has to be converted into radians. Okay, for that reason you need to multiply that with pi by 180. Correct? You need to multiply that with pi by 180, then it will be converted into radians. Okay, if you multiply that, it will be 3.927 radians. The next, while one end is connected to the fulcrum. Here you can see that one end is connected to the fulcrum. Actually, this figure is not given. Okay, you need to write the given data. After that, you can generate this figure. Okay. Means one end is connected to the fulcrum. Here, one end is connected to the fulcrum. The other end is connected to the brake lever. This is the other end. Okay. Brake lever at a distance of 400 mm. Okay. So this is the band. One end is connected to the fulcrum, and other end is connected to the lever. Okay. And he has given the distance. How much is the distance? It is 400 mm. Okay, this is nothing but B. 400 mm from the fulcrum. Full point. I will write down that. B is given. B is equal to 400 mm. The brake lever is 1 meter long. Means they are given the distance of the brake lever. The total distance of the brake lever, or the length of the brake lever, is 1000 mm. He has given 1 meter. Convert that into mm. Means you need to multiply that with 10 raised to 3. Therefore, A is equal to 1000 mm. The brake is to absorb a power of 15 kilowatt. Power is given. That is capital P. Power is 15 kilowatt at 720 rpm. Means he has given capital N. It is 720 revolution per minute. Design the brake lever of rectangular cross section. Okay, means you need to design the brake lever of rectangular cross section. Okay, means you need to find out. I will write it as B1 and H1. You need to calculate. That is the design the brake lever B1 H1, assuming the depth to be thrice the width. Okay, depth is nothing but H. Okay, if you take this rectangular section, this depth is nothing but 3 times the width. Okay, it is 3 times the width, that is 3 into b dash. Therefore H1 is given. H1 is equal to 3 times B1. Okay, and take allowable stress. He has given the allowable stress. Allowable stress is 80 megapascal. Megapascal is nothing but Newton per mm square. If it is given in Newton per meter square, that is Pascal, you have to convert that into megapascal. Why? Because the remaining dimensions all you have kept in mm. For that reason, it has to be converted into megapascal or Newton per mm square. Or if you are keeping this in Pascal, that is Newton per meter square, the remaining all dimensions should be meter. It's left to you. Whichever is convenient for you, you can choose that. And this is the given statement. After that, you need to design it. Okay. The first one, when you are going to see the figure, okay, yeah, this is the F load which is acting on that. Okay, and after that you have to see the data input. Okay, this is the data input. Okay, where you can see that this is the simple line differential band break. Now we are going to solve problems on simple band breaks. Okay, the equations are there in 266 page number. This is the simple band break. Different figures are there. Okay, now we can see that two figures are there. Okay, figure E and figure D. It is a simple band break. Okay, in this case the force is acting downward. Okay, in the given problem also force is acting downward. The force is acting downward. When the force is acting downward, in this two cases are there. Here you can see that one is clockwise, other one is anti-clockwise. Okay, according to that you have to take. When the drum is rotating in clockwise, you have to use this equation. Already I told you this in the previous slides. You have to use this equation 13.19c for clockwise. For anti-clockwise or counterclockwise, you have to use equation 13.19b. Okay, this is a simple band break. Okay, after saying this, you need to find out you need to design the break lever, okay, of rectangular cross section. Now, as we know that, okay, otherwise I will write down what do you mean by this H1 and B1. Okay, this H1 is nothing but the depth of the lever. Depth of the lever, and B1 is nothing but the width. It is the width of the lever. Okay, you can see that this is the lever. H1 is nothing but the depth. B1 is the width of the lever. Now, when the rectangular section is given, okay, we know that in the first chapter, that is first module, we know the bending equation. Okay, we know the bending equation. Okay, that is the bending equation is m divided by I, okay, is equal to E by R is equal to stress by C. C is nothing but it is the center distance from the neutral axis. Okay, C is nothing but the distance from the neutral axis to the extreme fiber of the lever. Okay, this equation is 1.3a, which is there in your data input. The bending equation, I have taken that. Now, therefore, here the stress they have given, I can use m by I is equal to bending moment by moment of inertia is equal to stress divided by C. Okay, now this for a rectangular cross section, moment of inertia is nothing but sorry, I think wait, I will open this. Now it is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
okay. Sorry for the disturbance. Now, moment of inertia, sorry, bending moment or moment of inertia is equal to stress by C. For rectangular cross section, moment of inertia is nothing but B1 or BH cube by 12. Okay, for this rectangle section, whatever the depth and width is there, we take an H1 B1. That's why I will be writing it as B1 H1 cube by 12. Now see the given data. Okay, H1 is given. It is 3 times B1. Okay, substitute that. Substitute the value. It is equal to B1. H1 is 3B1 cube divided by 12. Okay, this will be 3 cube divided by 12. Okay, after simplification, it will be 2.25. It will be B1 cube into B1. It will be B1 raised to 4. This is the moment of inertia. Okay, as I told you, C is nothing but it is the distance. For example, if you take this rectangular cross section, for example, okay, this C is nothing but it is the distance from the neutral axis. This is the neutral axis, from neutral axis to the extreme fiber. Okay, therefore it is C is equal to H1 by 2. Okay, H1 is nothing but the depth. Okay, depth they have given it as 3 times B1. H1 divided by 2. From the figure, the C is nothing but H1 divided by 2. Substitute the value of H1. It is 3 times B1 divided by 2. 3 by 2. It is nothing but 1.5. Therefore, it will be 1.5 B1. Okay. Now you can substitute this C and moment of inertia. Otherwise, I will write down this bending moment also. Okay, as we know that bending moment is nothing but M is equal to the maximum force. Okay, maximum force. Okay, bending moment is vertical load into perpendicular distance up to the fulcrum. Okay, F into how much is the distance? It is 1 meter or 1000 mm. Therefore, maximum force into A. A is the distance between the applied load and the fulcrum. Okay. Now we need to find out this maximum force. Okay. How to find out this force? As I told you in a simple band break. Okay. You have to use these two equations for simple band break to find out the force. In that, whichever is maximum, that force has to be taken to find out the bending moment. Once we will consider clockwise, other case we will consider counterclockwise. In that, we will be calculating the force. Okay, in that whichever is maximum, that can be taken. I hope you understood this. But use equation 13.19C and 13.19D. Before that, you need to see the figure. Which figure you have to select? These two are the simple band break, and the figure D is other case. Okay. Now from this, okay. Now to find we are going to find out the maximum force. Okay, for that you need to compare the different types of figures. That is comparing the given problem with the figures which are available in data handbook. That is, we have figure E. We have figure E, which is there in page number 270. That is 270 page number of data handbook. Okay. From that, first I will be taking clockwise rotation. First, I will be considering clockwise rotation. Therefore, for clockwise rotation, the force F. If you have to refer that the equation 13.19c which I have shown, now it is tangential force into B divided by A into 1 divided by e raised to mu theta minus 1. Okay, this is there in equation 1.13.19c. Okay, in this, first I will calculate e raised to mu theta and the tangential force. After that, B and A is given in the data. You can substitute all the values and you can find out the force which is acting when it is rotating in clockwise direction. When it is rotating in clockwise direction, drum is rotating in clockwise direction. Therefore, e raised to mu theta is equal to, okay, in this case, if you see the given data, coefficient of friction is not given. Okay, when coefficient of friction is not given, you have to assume that. Okay, in this case, if you see the previous problems, okay, the coefficient of friction was like 0.25 and 0.3 or 0.35 they are given. Okay, you have to assume 1 and you need to mention that. Why? Because in the given data, okay, in the given statement, the data is not given. Okay, I will assume mu as 0.25 into theta. Theta you have calculated. Here you can see that theta, it should be in radians. It is 3.927 into 3.927. It is equal to e raised to mu theta. It will be 2.67. Here you have to write, assuming coefficient of friction, that is mu, as 0.25. This is important. Okay, after finding e raised to mu theta, next is you need to find out the tangential force. Okay, to find out the tangential force, we know that torque is nothing but tangential force into radius of the drum, force multiplied by the radius. Okay, here if you take down the drum, in this case it will be the tangential force multiplied by the radius of the drum, that will give you the torque. Okay, if you see the given data, power is given and RPM is also given, means from that you can find out the torque. Okay, and once you find out the torque and radius is also given, from that you can find out the tangential force. Okay, we know that power is equal to 2 pi nt by 60. 2 pi nt by 60. Okay, substitute the power is given as 15 kilowatt. 15 into 10 raised to 3 is equal to 2 into pi. N is given, RPM, it is 720 into torque divided by 60. Therefore, from this equation, okay, the torque which I will be obtaining, okay, fine, in this case, the power is in kilowatt and N is in RPM and torque is in Newton meter. Okay, from this the torque I'm going to get will be 198.94 Newton meter. Okay, or the remaining dimensions are in mm. Better you convert this into Newton mm, means 1 meter is nothing but 10 raised to 3 mm. For it will be 198.94 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. This is the torque. Okay, once you get the torque, you can substitute that in this equation. Therefore, it is 198.94 into 10 raised to 3 is equal to tangential force into radius. Okay, if you see the given data, the diameter of the drum is given, it is 600. Okay, radius is d by 2, therefore it is 300. Therefore radius is equal to 600 by 2, it is 300. From this, the tangential force you will be getting, Ft is equal to, okay, here the torque unit is Newton mm is equal to and it is Ft. The unit of radius, it is mm will get cancelled, therefore the unit of tangential force will be Newton. Okay, therefore the tangential force will be this divided by 300, will be 158.84 Newton. Okay, once you get this the tangential force, sorry, I have written the value wrong. The tangential force is 663.15 Newton. Okay, once you get this value, you can substitute that in equation 13.19c. You are going to get the force. Substitute all the values. Therefore, force is equal to tangential force 663.15 into B is given as 400. A is given in the data, it is 1000. 1 divided by e raised to mu theta, if I calculate it is 2.67 minus 1. Okay, from this you will be getting the force. Okay, calculate this and the force will be 158.84 Newton. This is the force which you will be getting when the drum is rotating in clockwise direction. Okay, now I am going to consider counterclockwise, when the drum is rotating in counterclockwise. For counterclockwise rotation, you have to use the next equation. That is F is equal to tangential force into B divided by A. It is e raised to mu theta divided by e raised to mu theta minus 1. This is equation 13.19 D. In this, already you have calculated the tangential force, all the values, substitute that. Tangential force we obtained as 663.15. B is given, it is 400 divided by A. A is given, it is 1000. E raised to mu theta is also given, it is 2.67. Is 2.67 minus 1. Okay, after substituting all the values, okay, you will be getting the force. Therefore, force will be 424.1 Newton. This is the force which you will be getting when the drum is rotating in counterclockwise. When the drum is rotating in counterclockwise. Okay, you have to compare both this. In that, whichever is maximum, that has to be taken to calculate this M. Okay, M is equal to maximum force into A. Okay, you have to calculate, or you have to take down the maximum force. Therefore, the maximum force will be, therefore the maximum force is equal to, in both the case, one is 158, other one is 424. This will be maximum 1 Newton. This is the maximum force, and we know that bending moment is equal to maximum force into A. 21.8 into 1000. Here you can see that the bending moment is equal to maximum force into A. Maximum force into A, maximum force multiplied by A. Therefore, it is equal to 424.1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton mm. He has asked us to design the lever, the brake lever. Means you need to find out this H1 B1. You can see that B1 H1 you need to calculate that. now the B1 is equal to, and the given data, okay, he has mentioned, okay, whatever this H1 is there is 3 times B1, okay, and now you can use this equation, you have calculated M, okay, a moment of inertia already it is calculated, C is nothing but 1.5 B1, stress is also given, substitute all the values, you are going to get the value of H1, okay, substitute all the values, therefore the bending moment is 424.1 into 10 raised to 3 divided by, okay, divided by moment of inertia, it is calculated as 2.25 into B1 raised to 4 is equal to, stress is given, it is 80, and C it is 1.5 B1, okay. From this you will be getting the value of B1, calculate this, okay. After the calculation the B1 value will be 15.23 mm, okay, which is approximately you can take it as 15 or next value, that is 16, or you can keep it like that also. Therefore B1 value is 15.23, and in the given data H1 is 3 times B1, therefore it is 3 into B1 is 15.23, okay. If you multiply that, think that value will be 43 point something, okay. Calculate the value, okay, or roughly if I take sorry, it is not 43, it will be more than that, 3 into 15 it is 45, okay, 3 into 0.23, okay, it is 6.9, therefore H1 is equal to 45.69 mm, okay. These are the dimensions of the brake, okay, and all the values or whatever the equations are there, okay, you have to see the which type of simple band brake is given, according to that you have to take down the formula. I think you have understood this, or if you have any doubts in this you can ask and you can clarify that, okay? If you have any doubts you can ask.